Okay.
Right, so welcome to this new, what do you call this? New session.
Yeah, it'd be very rare to call it a series, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit weird, but I don't know. But welcome to this new series. No.
I'm not.
So I hope I'm in focus. If not, we're dead. But let me tell you something. Today I have Jack and Dan together with me. And we're going to try some drinks today, and also we're going to discuss a lot of things such as life after graduation and life in general, and also how the drinks taste.
Yeah.
Using my
Actually, I'll get some ice.
with how to say, Jack is moving out very soon. That's why we are doing this session.
Yeah.
And not only Jack moving out, but then also it's about we finishing our university assignment course submission.
I want to know what made you come to the UK, like, because I don't think I've ever asked you. Why,
Yeah, you never asked.
why you chose the UK over everything. Like, what's that process like?
I think I like people ask me this question, and the answer is both of my parents they are both graduated from UK, from England. So 45 years ago.
Okay.
You know, when Staffordshire University is still North Staffordshire Polytechnic.
Wait, they graduated from Staffs?
Well, only my mom, not my dad. My dad is in Nottingham Polytechnic Trent, something like that. So
Sorry, do forgive me. I'm just gonna take my shoes off.
he's gonna take his shoes off. Woo! So
Not that you can see that on the video.
yeah.
Go on.
So both of them graduated in England, and when I was young, right, like 12 years old, 9 years old, in my room there's always like a album bag.
Yeah.
Inside the albums all the photos. So I usually occasionally go through the photos, and then I see like, wow, my parents, wow, where is this place? England. I never been there before.
Yeah.
My sister been there before when she's young, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old. Family photo in England. I was like, where is this? And it's so nice. The green grass, like it's different. The vibe is different. So, then every time I have uncle auntie who is staying in the north, they always come to Malaysia. My mom's friend during university, and I always go like, wow, who is this uncle auntie? They come so far from England, and they only come like once a year. Where is this place? Who is this place?
Yeah.
So those combine all those things, and my mom coming to England, I feel like this is the place I want to go since young. And a few years before I come to Staffordshire University, I always have this dream, like every time I go to sleep at night, I go like, wow, one day, you know, I have those dreams, like imagine I'm in England and things like that. But that's the reason behind the driving force of coming to England. Always wanted to come here since young. Always think United Kingdom is one of the greatest country in the world. Always think like English people are very different from what I know, and their culture and things like that. Yeah. So that's the driving force behind of why I wanted to come here. And the process was very long.
Hang on, you've just got a thing saying battery exhausted.
Can we do it like this and then we turn back? This will be a cool episode 1. So weird.
It's gonna be DIY.
Yeah. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So where am I? Oh yeah, the process.
Yeah.
The process is very different from the local people here, because international students, right, we have to go through a 5-month process in applying visa and getting confirmation from the university. Guess who's the first person I emailed to?
I bet it was probably Colin.
Nope.
Oh, I don't know.
Daniel Hopkins.
Is that why you're technically on Are you on experimental?
No.
Oh, okay.
But when I emailed, Daniel Hopkins is the one who get back to me, and that's why he added me into the experimental group chat,
okay,
and then he left, I think, but I didn't
Yeah.
see. So and that was it, you know, 5-month process, like so scary, getting confirmation, and like, yes, I'm going to England, the visa's done, and it's insane. So yeah, I hope that answers your question.
I hate the spinning.
Yeah.
What are the plans after uni? Like what's going on with that?
What do you mean?
So obviously we finish on Friday. What's happening after that for you?
Okay, so here's my ultimate plan. Revealing already. So what I'm doing on Friday after 22nd is the first thing is a line ahead of my schedule is there might be a documentary shoot with a production company from London. I didn't tell anyone. But this no, it's true. I didn't tell anyone, but I did tell someone lah, but I didn't tell anyone yet. But straight to the point, it's a documentary shoot. They are searching for camera operator, and I assume I'm one of the earliest that they approached to us. So the situation was like this. One day I was on my bed, 11 a.m. I don't wake up like 7 like you because I got the blackout curtain. So I sleep at I wake up at 11. So when I open my phone, immediately I received a message in Winston's vlog.
Yeah.
And it was from the company. It's called Slick Films.
Okay.
And the person messaged me and said, "Hey Winston, we came through your Mendy profile and we see that you are a camera operator in Stoke-on-Trent, and we have a documentary coming up in Stoke-on-Trent for the next few months. And then can you email me?" So I emailed them, and it turns out this company Slick Films is an award-winning production company.
That's good.
Best live action short film Academy Awards.
Oh, it's an Oscar winner. Wow.
Yeah.
That's really good.
So this person, his name is Chris, and the wife is an actor, Rachel, who is born in Stoke-on-Trent. And when I emailed them, they told me it was a documentary about Machari Foundation for the sleep homeless people. Then I was like, ding, back on February, Claire and I went today and shoot the Machari thing. So immediately I screenshot and I said, hey, check it out. I used to shoot. So I assume it's Machari, some kind of sleeping documentary. And the interview is tomorrow, 11 a.m. via Zoom. So I hope I get selected. Now it's the funding stage, but after that, it could be next week or the few weeks after that for the next few months.
Wow.
That's insane.
That's really good. How do you feel about that? So what? So is it like?
Woo! Look at Zach. Whatever.
So is it like a short film or like a longer film?
You see, that's the good question, Jack. Because people like you will ask, "What's the documentary? Is it short film?" But people like me, I don't ask. I don't know why. But the only thing I can just assume is because they are Oscar-winning company and they did a short film, there might be some kind of relationship between them and the big companies in UK and say like, hey, we saw your work. Could you do this project and then we will play it on BBC or ITV that. So it could be for Netflix, or it could be some kind of documentary series for all these platform online. It could be. I don't know. I didn't ask.
I guess that's what you figure out tomorrow, isn't it? Like in the interview.
Yeah, I assume so, because in that email he said we want to talk more about the documentary. So there is a high chance that I'm already involved. Yeah. And then they want to brief me more.
Yeah. Well, there's a thing about if you get chosen for an interview, then if you can physically see the person, then your chances go up a lot. With actually getting that job, because
understand.
I don't know, it immediately proves, because they've only got so many hours in the day, and if they're the director or something, they're probably fairly important. So if they're seeing you, if they're taking the time out to see you, that means they're serious about it. So you've got a good chance. It doesn't mean you've absolutely bang on got it, but you've got, if they're seeing you, that's a good sign.
Yeah.
But that sounds exciting. So your plan is then, because I was wondering if you're planning to move back to Malaysia. I was just wondering what's going on with that.
Yeah. So a lot of people thinking hey Winston, what are you gonna do after you submit, and half of the percentage thing I'm going back to Malaysia, but my plan after 22nd of May is moving back to Malaysia is not even in my radar.
Wow, that's
You see?
okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
It's not in my radar, and for it to not be in my radar comes a consequences where I need to work to get my current visa transition to work visa, you see.
Yeah.
And I have like until September to do it. So I was talking to Claire and I told her, I said, Slick Films unfortunately is not under the certified companies that can give me that visa.
Okay.
But Claire said that doesn't mean they can't help you to get from someone else, you know. So that's what she said lah. And I was like, I don't know. I just think about the moment. I never think about the future, you know, things like that. I don't know. So, but no, I'm not. I don't plan to go back Malaysia. The reason is because is my creativity level and my freedom level will plummet if that's the word. I don't have the freedom to go out and enjoy the weather and say, hey Jack or whoever here. In Malaysia, I just always stuck in my home. It's either stuck in my home or I go to my sister's shop, which is like a beauty therapist shop. And that's all, you know. And then I have to rebuild the network and everything there. Here I already made that base, you know, based in Stoke-on-Trent, based in UK. I know the underground maps and things like that. I know people in my place in KK, not really. So
that makes sense. That's good.
Yeah,
like I would. That's interesting though that you want to stay in the UK, like I thought that you were wanting to go back to Malaysia.
No,
Would you want to ever move away from the UK though? Like, have you thought about like America and stuff?
Yes, I talked to my mom that day and I said, Jack told me after 4 years he's going to East Coast of America, and then after that because he said that, immediately in my mind think about like, you know, like my primary research on design features. 3 of my primary research are global cinematographers. If you have job in Barcelona, you go. You know, and 3 of them, obviously, when I talk to them, they push and encourage that type of working culture.
Well, I think for like cinematographers, that is the culture. Yeah, I think that like because the job could be anywhere. Like it could be based in the UK, but the film might be set out in, as you said, like Barcelona. So you might have to fly out there, which is really cool way of working. Like, because as an editor, the chances of that are much lower because you're just an office fundamentally. But as a cinematographer, you're out there doing it. So that's pretty cool. So hopefully you just choose you get to work on projects that are like global and stuff.
I hope so. But to answer your question, yes, I am that person who likes to travel. That's
good.
I am that person who likes to get a camera and let's shoot. You know, see what we can get out of it. And that's me lah. But yes.
That's good.
Woo! So we're doing well, people. We're doing well.
People. Oh my goodness, man. Yeah. Okay. No, that was good. So go on. What have you got any questions for me? Fire away.
Actually, I'm in the mood of answering questions now.
Oh, I see. I see. You can't. All right. Okay. So.
Okay.
Okay. So how do you think this recent project went? I want you to talk about this most recent semester. What do you think about like the coronavirus and stuff like that? Like how has it impacted you and stuff? Like,
so this is a great question because I just answered this question yesterday when I was doing my production file, and I can break this down into 2 parts.
Yeah.
The first part is it impacted me emotionally, and I'm sure it impacted a lot of people as well emotionally, not only students. And when I say emotionally, is that the pandemic is something new, at least for this my decade or whatever. It's something new. And when it strike and when the lockdown is officially announced, we are not prepared emotionally. Okay, and because everything just come to a stop. Everything, whatever you do, your normal life just come to a stop, and it just changes your daily life, and you just feel different. So you are not prepared to move forward. So basically, the effects taught me two things that is very important. One, in your lifetime, you have to be flexible. You have to be adaptful and embraceful. That's the two things I really learned, and that's the biggest impact on me. Because it took 1.5 weeks for me to get over it, then to start over on my project. Start over, like start where I left behind.
What do you think of the people who like? They seem like they haven't even figured it out. That they're still waiting for something. You know, I mean, maybe at this point, I don't know. Maybe people are all right, but it seemed like for a very long time people didn't know what to do. And like, I'm talking not like a few weeks. I'm talking like a month.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, what lockdown was like, I want to say like the 15th of March.
Yeah. Something
15,
like that.
16, something like that.
Yeah.
And then people were saying like on our Easter break, they were like, I still don't know what to do. Like, what do you think about that?
I think some people, they don't have a sense of being flexible, I think.
Yeah.
Because one of the reasons it could be they are so used to it of doing something that they never try something new. That's why it really affect them like 90% severe damage. But other people, they are just stubborn and they choose not to try or think positively, you know. Some people have the capacity but they choose not to. Some people have but they don't know they have the capacity to try something new, to adapt and change. So I think that's the two things that people are like that, and why are they like that. But yeah.
What do you think about that, Dan? Like, we've talked about it a lot.
It's a strange situation because I agree with Lucy. It's initially frustrating that everything has just come to a sudden halt, and no matter what you want to do to fight against that, it's practically not going to work. So I was in the same boat. I took like a week or 2 weeks off, but then it was like you have to produce something. You have to keep going. There's no like, I get it can be a mentally affecting and it can slow you down, but you just have to push through. Or else you're going to succumb to it. You have to overcome it, or it's going to take over you. You've got to like fight, because it's just adaptation. It's just regulating a new system. You've got to learn how to live within the rules of the lockdown, and then just prioritize your time.
I think it was interesting, the response from everyone, that so many people left. They went home.
That was a weird one.
In what felt like just a panic move. Like, that was the weird thing, that people were like, people didn't even, I don't know, everyone, like, people obviously thought about it, but it's like people, I don't know if people did know really what it was all about. Like, they just thought, oh, everyone else is going, so I guess I should probably.
I think the biggest reason why they want to leave their student accommodation is because the university is closing down, and there is.
But the thing at that point, university. Oh, I don't know. It was, wasn't it? Yeah.
And
what is there for you at home? It's not here.
And there is no point of me staying with my student accommodation buddies. If you're gonna have Zoom classes, why not I just go home and just relax?
Yeah.
And that could be the reason.
Why not relax here? For me,
it's a different, you know.
I'm very much like, for me, going home is to go back a few years. It's to go pre-university, like, because my parents still treat me like the child of the house, and whereas here I can do whatever, and there's so much more freedom, and it's just independence. I sort of do wonder how people are going to cope after lockdown is lifted, because now they're going to be finished or uni. So it's kind of like, well, what incentive? You're right there.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm just doing my thing.
It's like there's then. I think it'd be much trickier then for people to move out.
Yeah.
Because there's like, well, they've just immediately ran home, and I don't understand that.
You don't understand that. I think there are some things during lockdown are meant not to be understood. You know, it's just a natural response.
But it feels like people didn't even really know why they were going home.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like,
Yeah.
they're going home because they were.
Yeah.
It's like, I guess maybe there's the financial thing.
It could be as well, a lot of reasons, but I just felt like what you say like just now.
Yeah, so it's a weird one, isn't it? And I think the problem is as well, people like, I don't know, people were complaining about the course. People were complaining about third year for a while anyway. They were kind of like, oh, we're just being left and all this sort of stuff. So I wonder if it's like a mixture of the two of them. Like, they feel like they've been left by the course, so they're like, right, I'm going to go home. Like, almost first chance I get. Like, I wonder, like, I don't know if that's true. That might not be true. But
Yeah.
You've still got the same responsibilities, but more distractions.
yeah, that was the thing that I was thinking.
More responsibility.
Well, you've got the same amount, but it's going to be more distracting, surely. If you go home, you have parents and you have siblings, and you have all that side of things to deal with as well.
Yeah.
That's just another layer of distraction.
Yeah, I couldn't deal with that. And as much as the financial thing would be nice, you know, for me, like, living alone and living independently is a bit more important than that.
Yeah,
And,
it's majorly
Yeah.
more important.
and considering that theoretically in a few months anyway we're going to be living independently,
Yeah.
so it's kind of like, well, this to me was a really good trial run. How well can I live on my own?
True.
Whereas I think
See, that's why I say like what you just said is you adapted and then you take the choice, the chance, the opportunity to look at it positively and say, this is a trial run for me.
Yeah.
You know that you got a choice.
Yeah.
Your brain is already there.
Yeah.
So you are different from other people.
Yeah, it's weird. I think the people who have chosen to stay in Stoke or to stay independently, I think there's it's
different values.
Yeah, I think there's something different about it.
Yeah. But yeah.
Like, what did you think of? I don't want to get like too political and stuff.
Yeah,
but,
just
like,
go.
What did you think of like the way that the country's handled it and stuff?
So what do I think about UK handling the coronavirus? First of all,
Go on,
at the beginning, at the beginning stage, I feel like it's a bit slow. They were slow.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I say slow, I mean by if you already know the numbers are rising from 300 to 700, it's still gonna rise. So you should start the lockdown already.
Yeah.
Instead of a certain number that is just hard. But one word slow, but another word amazing, because I like when the government say stay at home, save lives and protect the NHS.
Yeah.
So what is that? I was like thinking, whoa. So means if there's too many people sick, the NHS cannot
Yeah.
what's that word? Start with C. Commit, not commit. Not combine.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I'm not. I know what you. I
Yeah. Accommodate. Oh, it's A. The NHS people cannot accommodate a lot of people. That's why we must save the NHS.
So I've got something interesting to propose to you about that.
Okay. What?
So in America,
Yeah.
hospitals around America are currently sitting at about 30% capacity. And this is why they're having to put doctors on furlough and they're having to like reduce their hours and stuff, because essentially because people are now not going to hospital for things that they might have done before because they're thinking, oh, okay, I'll stay home. I'll deal with it myself. What people have noticed is actually hospitals are, like on average, hospitals are actually not coping very well because they haven't got enough patients to deal with it. And I don't know what that is the case in the UK, but I know that doctors are being like, there's that threat of like, doctors might not be able to, like the hospital might not be able to afford to keep doctors there. And I also heard something that was, it was an interesting way that they're saying what is COVID deaths. And you're right there.
You can try it comfortable in this chair.
It's trying. It's not I don't know.
I don't think that's gonna work.
Oh.
Oh, continue.
So what the thing I think what is happening is people are diagnosing COVID deaths where people who have COVID-like symptoms are dying, right? But that doesn't mean that they died of COVID. So there's there's a speculation that actually the number of deaths that are actually from COVID is much lower than has been reported.
I see.
Because as well, hospitals are trying to say, look, we've got all these patients dying from COVID, when actually they had COVID and they died of other reasons. And then also there's the thing about they didn't just have COVID, they had COVID-like symptoms. They were never tested on COVID. So there's this interesting thing that's happening where we're sort of getting stuck in that loop of like, it's the whole thing of like, if you had a cold and then were hit by a bus, it's like them saying you died of the cold.
I
It's
see.
like, well,
yeah,
no,
yeah, I
actually,
understand.
you just had the thing at the time.
Yeah.
So there's this interesting thing that's happening because apparently, like, China is back and running,
Yep.
like completely, like
Completely running.
and I thought that was interesting. That within a month or so, that's kind of gone away. What do you think? What do you think about that?
I think you know what? Let me tell you something. I think things like this, right? We cannot cope.
Yeah.
We just cannot cope. People like you and me, like over there, that guy there, he cannot listen. No one, don't worry. But what I'm trying to say is things like this we cannot cope, and we don't know whether it's true or false. But we know that type of thing, that type of saying exists outside there. And it's sad because sometimes we are fueled by all this type of news and information that really affects our emotional thing.
Yeah.
But we don't know whether it's right or wrong. So how do I face that is I don't focus on others, I focus on myself. And how can that affect me is by focusing on myself. This is the second take. I'm sorry, it's not one take, and that's the camera we were using, but the battery died and it's not ideal. That's why I always pick a camera that's ideal for you. Apparently, in this situation, the GoPro is the most ideal. I'll fix the audio, but everything's good. So we're back. Woo! So, but yeah, like I'm talking about all these things, like all this information we see on the internet, it could be disturbing, because social media is something that we go on every day. So just by deciding not going on social media for a day or for a week can completely change your life. I'll give you an example. Tom Radcliffe, this guy is not on social media for the past 3-4 days, and I assume it helped him a lot because personally I did that before. I deactivate my Facebook. Obviously the app is still there, but I just deactivate it for about a week a few years ago, and it really changed my life.
I did it for a summer. I got rid of I did it for a summer.
Why you go? Why he get rid of summer?
I got rid of social media for a summer. I
see.
From like July to September. I got rid of it. I thought it was good. It was. I got rid of everything, like my Facebook, my Twitter, my Instagram, like everything. In college and stuff. So it's been super good. Like I think people should do it every once in a while. Just go off it for a bit.
But because you did it before, in this situation, if you do it again, right? I'm sure 100% would change your. What do you think?
Well, because I left it for so long, like a series of months, it just change when you go back on it. It changes your perspective on it, so you're not dependent on it. I don't find myself like. I don't know. Maybe recently I have just because of lockdown and stuff, but like I don't find myself scrolling that much. Mainly through Instagram, but that's just because I like Instagram. But I think everyone should do it once in a while. Just
understand. True.
Get rid of their social media for just a bit, like because you when you're off it, you realize you suddenly stop looking at the world like through your phone. And I know that's like that's fairly like cliche to say, but like you start to actually experience the things around you. You just start to be more engaged with the present, like with what's actually happening to you right then. And that's good, I think. What do you think, Don?
I've never actually done it, but I'm very selective of what's on my social medias. I think I've seen Frank Cliff again post recently about like how he took out a lot of negativity on his stuff and he focused in only on like a curated selection of like people in the industry, of like as artists, of like actual legitimate friends.
Yeah.
So all you're seeing is like positive stuff and it's like enhancing your life instead of subscribing to a lot of more negative sort of content or people that you've had in the past who don't really have any sort of value in your life anymore.
Like
and I think that massively changes it.
Yeah.
I think it's absolutely fine if you live in like a curated like selection that you think is a positive influence.
Yeah.
Whether it be to see what's going on in the industry you're working in, or what's happening with certain releases or films or artists and things of that nature. I think it's quite positive, but it can.
See what? Yeah, because I think you can still have all that, but you start to find your news in other places, like you know, like maybe change from like
articles and newspapers.
Like or just like watching the news and stuff. Like if you want to keep up to date with what's happening, then do it that way. Like I don't know. I think people should do it just to get rid of it, just to see. Like I think people should do that with their phones in general a bit more. Like like a few people on our course that we know are just absolutely addicted to their phone. They cannot stop doing it. Like I've seen certain people like in lectures just scrolling through Facebook, and it's like, why are you even here? Like what? Like I get it if you're looking something up, but even then, like it's probably not that important. Like if you make a note of it, and then if it's important, you can go back to it later. Like
true.
It's a different like culture, and it's a different thing that happens.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, I think people should do it. Get rid of social media for just a bit. Just trying it for like a week. I think a week is like the good minimum.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, too.
A weekend is easy to do. Like who cares about a weekend? But like, I think a week is a bit more important. You get a bit more perspective on it. Technology is a weird thing. Yeah.
So in conclusion, get rid of social media and try something new. See your life change.
No, you will. Okay, so I want to ask you what. So overall, like, what have been the best moments and the worst moments of uni so far for you?
Best moments and worst moments. I think the best moments are the trips that we did. Manchester trip, level 5 creativity, London trip, Soho. I think that's the best moment for me. And that's number one. Number two is more of the opportunities I get to shoot. So someone like, I don't know, who say, hey Winston, you got camera, come and shoot. And I go without knowing. I think that's a really good moment. And that's the two best moments I can think of, because that is what university is all about, at least for our sector. But the worst moment I also think is when I first came in. The first 2 or 3 months, it was the most difficult for me because it was all about adapting. It was new friends, it was English friends, and then it was new cameras. I still remember C500 even the first time. That was really hard because I don't know what I really don't know what was going on, to be honest. The Odyssey, first time when I was, the hell is that, and all this C500, you need to plug into different ports to get, what is that, like the all fucking PC.
The C500 is not a great camera. Like, it's not good.
So that was the worst moment. And the second worst moment is after that, which is my first film. It's the worst. Because I still love my A7S. That's the camera I used to shoot.
So which film was this?
This one was Despondency.
Okay.
The very first one. And I didn't understand what was production file. And there was this green light with Richard Hunter, and I don't know what was green light all about. And I have to have so many things prepared. I didn't know what the hell was going on. So I asked for help. So the person I asked for help was Jessica Brain, Just Brain. So she helped me. So I have to thank her for that. And then after that, the second person approached me was David Wells. And he said, use Star Now to find actors.
Okay.
So that was the worst moment. I don't know what the hell I was doing on my first film. It was a narration. It was a montages of shots. and it was a narration, and that narration audio recording is recorded there.
Oh, really?
So it's bad, and that narration recording is recorded by my flatmate at that time.
Okay.
So that was the 2 worst moments and my 2 best moments lah.
Oh,
To
okay.
share with you. Haha.
That yeah. So I saw recently that you were you joined a Zoom call. What was it? Like a camera thing. No, it was like a camera like conference call that you'd joined.
Oh
What
yeah,
was- what was that all about?
I think you know. Yeah. Okay. So this. I mean, I like your question because there's a huge answer there.
Yeah.
So part of my design futures, the finding opportunity section.
Yeah.
Mine is a bit different, and I think this is how I can stand out. Based on my primary research, one of the people that I talked to, his name is Laurie.
Okay.
He is English born. He graduated from London Film School more than 30 years ago, and he moved out of England, and he's currently staying in Malaysia. Malaysian wife and the children.
Oh wow.
So he is part of the Malaysian Society of Cinematographer, like Roger Deakin ASC, that's American,
Yeah.
so something like that. So based on my primary research, right, he said you should join an organization because by joining that organization is your key to the industry in the UK. So I went in there, got the magazine just beside me, and I was talking to him. The Zerb magazine last time Colin used to give out on on the floor in the film theater. I took it. Then he on the Zoom call he was like, you should take and check out this Zerb magazine, a lot of nice things. So I was like, oh, I got it here, and I showed him. And he told me he used to write a lot of articles for the past 7 years
That's good.
on Zerb.
Yeah.
So you can imagine my primary research, top notch
Yeah.
quality,
Yeah.
Oh. So who published the magazine Zerb, but under who? So this organization is called the Guild of Television Professional Cameramen.
Okay.
So it's something like BSc, British Society, blah, So what happened is I contacted the Zerb magazine managing editor
Yeah.
and tell her, and I said I want to join. So I joined GTC is that's the name,
Yeah.
and I joined £20 membership per year
Is that it?
for student, yeah,
Okay.
and a lot of benefits, and one of them is workshops.
Okay.
Because of lockdown, they cannot have workshop.
Yeah.
So that day, it was. That's why I don't drink alcohol. But because that day, it was Thursday, it was both the camera workshop and the negotiated assessment briefing.
Yeah.
I had to let go one, and I let go the camera workshop. However, I managed to screenshot
Yeah.
and I post the link in. That's why I know where he asked me that
Yeah.
question. But yeah, it was a Sony FX9. It's higher tier camera above the FS7. This is an
Yeah.
FX9. So I thought it'd be interesting thing to join, and a lot of English people there inside the Zoom call,
Yeah.
and mostly are 30 years old and above. I don't see anyone younger than me.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is the answer lah. So that's what I've been doing. That's how I think I can stand out.
Yeah.
Let's say I give you an example. Let's say Jack is hiring.
Yeah.
I send my speculative email to you and I said, hey, check out my work experience, but what else I can offer you?
So
is,
you can say now, can't you, that Winston Lin BSc whatever, can't you?
not BSc, yeah, but I can have that badge.
You can have
yeah.
that little thing
Yeah, I
after
have
your
to
name.
earn it. Yeah. That's
Ah.
correct, yeah, I
So
have to earn it.
how do you earn it? How do you...
So people, I'm sure it's first obviously it's years of experience.
Okay.
And secondly is what cameras you are qualified to operate. And
Okay.
thirdly is earn is as in like it's not awarded by the up people, it's awarded by the whole entire group. They have
Okay.
to know you.
Yeah.
So you earn that badge, and it is an entitlement to cinematographers, yeah.
Okay.
So that's what I've been doing lah. That's why, and I really think I can stand out lah. I was like, please give me, So what do you think? Do you think I can stand out like that? If you see everyone, they're all freelance, networking.
Well,
What do you think?
So you do these things, don't you? That not you personally, but when you want to stand out, like you have those little things. These you're a member of this guild. You're a member of that. Like for me, it's that I'm avid qualified.
Yeah.
Right. That doesn't mean that I'm better or worse at the craft than I am.
Yeah.
All it means is that I've got that little thing that just shows that I'm a bit more serious about it.
Yeah.
And that's basically what that is for you. But what's helpful about this guild for you is that it actually is active. Like with the avid thing, once you've got it, you've got it. Doesn't offer any like additional benefits.
Yeah,
whereas with this guild, it's quite active. So that's nice.
But yeah, that's the only way I think I can stand out, lah. You know.
Well, you stand out with your I don't know. It varies from people. Like I don't like people who have the gimmicks and stuff.
What is gimmicks? What is he talking about?
So it's like when people. It's when people have something. From what I see, it's when people have something superficial to make themselves stand out, but it doesn't add anything, and it's like a quirky thing that doesn't serve any purpose really.
I see. I understand.
You know,
It's bullshit guild. And your guild sounds legitimate, but there's a million like guilds and like honor systems that don't actually mean anything. That people just sort of have them throughout their name.
yeah.
You just because you actually have to earn. You pay into it and you earn your way up.
Yeah, I
to
have
being,
to earn. Yeah.
Yeah, these ones you just pay a fee and you've got it for life.
Whoa,
You've got a title.
this is cheating. This
Yeah, no,
one.
exactly. But it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
It just means you paid for a title. And
Yeah,
you can
it's
see
true.
with a Google search, you can see through it. It sounds great in a one-to-one in real life.
Yeah.
If we put it in an email, they Google it and they go, well, he's bullshitting me because he paid 20 quid 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And now that's the first thing he says to me is I'm part of such and such.
See, this is where I like have I don't like people who put award winning in front of their names. Like, I think that a lot of people do it when.
Oh no! I just put it in at the back of your name. Later I tell more. I just put there last night. I put Jack Burney, award-winning editor. Did I put that? I forget already.
Where?
Oh, we're gonna talk about this later. This is a different topic. Okay, continue.
Okay, because certainly people at our level and probably a few years above.
Okay.
It's like, to me, unless you've won an Academy Award or one of the top prizes at a recognised festival.
Or you're marketing it specifically. So say you're going to apply for like a horror production company and I've won awards at all these various independent.
Yeah.
Unless it's marketed specifically.
True. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, like
makes sense,
like I win awards at this horror festival.
Yeah,
that's
makes
fine.
sense,
but
yeah.
when people just say
But when it's-
blanket award-winning filmmaker,
Northern Beer Company Film Production Festival.
and it's
Had
kind of
10
like,
people
and
in a shed.
I won the award for like best sound design or whatever. And it's
Yeah.
like, come on, guy, like you're not a like. Yes, you are technically an award winning, but the problem is, as you just said, it sounds great in that initial thing, but as soon as people ask about it, they say, "Oh, what award was it?"
Yeah.
And people said, "Oh, it was a local festival that I won, like best sound design." And you think that just makes you come across worse, in my opinion.
You don't want to blow yourself up like that.
True.
And that's what I mean. It's like you've got to, because often I think people might win an award for something that, I mean, you've got to think how much of that was actually like deserved. Like, it sounds like, is that award relevant to what you want to do? That's what I mean. If you won for sound design, but you're going in for writing, it's like, well, you wouldn't put that, even though a lot of people do, and it just annoys me that people put that, and yet they don't say what award they won. They don't give any proof or anything about it, and it's one of those classic student things.
It's anything to make yourself look bigger than you actually are.
Yeah. But I think I understand why people do it, and I think that is why. But this, like for me, when I pitch to people, I do it very matter of fact. I'm like, I've edited 16 short films, right?
Yeah.
And to me, that is my proof of like, I've done it in the past, and therefore I'm good at it. I'm like good enough. Like, and to me that's a more like, it's how many clients have you had in the past, like, and how like regular are those, and how like, to me that's a really good marker of like how good you actually are. Like, 'cause if you've had 2 clients, if you've worked with 2 people, then who cares? Like, but if you've worked with 15, 20, 30 people, it's like, whoa, this, is suddenly a bit more impressive. So yeah, I don't like when people put award winning in front of their thing.
So Jack don't like.
It's not good, is it? So you mentioned just briefly about cinematography, and I asked you about this when we were playing tennis the other day, about camera operating versus cinematography.
Yeah.
Have you had any more thoughts about that?
This guy is funny. I feel like I'm still on camera operating. Obviously, there are a lot of cameras that I want to learn and I want to use. But it takes time to... I feel like it's like a fucking game level thing, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, I played this aeroplane game recently, and it's so you start with a trainee, and then at the end you own the largest plane in the world. And then your rank is, I think it's called airline commander. So from trainee,
that's such a new game to play.
Yeah. So from trainee to airline commander, and each stage, right, you have to pass license, and you have to fly the plane for you to grow and own more planes. So I feel like camera operating is like that.
Yeah.
I just feel for you to progress up and upgrade, use bigger equipments. For you to do that is by getting the basics right.
Yeah.
Because I felt in that game, right, even a small plane, but I get a basic like landing gear, engine problem, eyes, all those things applies on a big plane as well. It's just we do it differently. It's the same thing. You know, if engine broken here, what do you do? Do air. This one, same thing.
Yeah.
You know? So I feel like camera operating is like that, and why I want to go camera operating is because I like operating cameras. I like going to the settings, and then I like to see in the screen while I'm doing it, like, nice, I like this shot, I'm so happy, come on, let's get it right, you know, I like that.
Yeah.
And my favorite camera operating work so far is a lot, but one that really stand out still in my brain is the behind the scenes that I did for Ford 13. I think that's the most on point focusing that I've ever done, and shallow depth of field, the color, the lighting is the most nicest ever from that camera. And that is manual focus, no autofocus. This is like I have to every time you change, and it's constantly f4. It's shallow, it's at the shallow level, so I have to quick do it like that, and it was raining that time. So camera operating, me. But why I can do so well on that camera is because I used that camera for many years. I get the basics right, and I can get that shot I want in any condition, you know, like.
Well, I think that if you understand, like with camera, if you understand the basics of like exposure, aperture, or ISO exposure, f-stops, and like there's like a very finite number of things that if you understand those basics, then you can use pretty much any camera. Like
I agree.
like picture profiles and like raw versus like what codec you're shooting. If you can understand those on a fundamental level, you can probably use almost any camera.
I agree. Do you guys agree?
You guys agree?
But it's true. What he said is true. So same like that airplane game, you know. I'm trying to branch out away from Sims now a little bit. So I play that airplane game, and but it's quite nice. But it's the same thing. And so that's again like what you say is the basic fundamentals, and that is more on technical side. But that day we talk about cinematography and camera operating. So director of photography. Me and Jack talk about director of photography is being more of a creative role than a technical one. So my thoughts on that is I do agree 100%, because I feel a bit different when a project is there. Obviously the director wants to find a director of photography. What does the director do is that he take the script and he start to read. And then after that, he works closely with maybe the location manager or whatever, the costume people, and to get this vision out of his head for the director, right? Then after that, once is that happening or even done, slowly he will go back to his camera department and say, hey, you know, on this script, I need this light, I need that one, and then the operating will start to come together. You know, I feel it's like that. I just felt it's like that. What do you think?
No, I agree. It's more conceptual. It's not actually operating the camera. It's taking the script and visualizing it. It's planning out the visual elements, but you don't have to have anything to do with the camera. You're just saying, here's the shot. you know, what's in the shot, the frame, etc. And then they shoot it.
That's the weird thing. Like a director of photography, in theory, shouldn't have to touch the camera.
Yeah.
Like, because that's not, you know, I mean, cameras are expensive pieces of kit, so, you know, you want the people who are going to get trained on it to operate it. So yeah, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's, I mean.
I like the word he used, train, because it makes me feel like both are in the same department but different roles.
Yeah.
One is trained
Yeah.
technical camera, but one is trained for creativity. And what Jack said that day is photography.
Yeah.
Helps because it gives you first composition, storytelling as well.
Yeah. So the reason why
Attack!
So the reason why people who want to be cinematographers and director of photography, the reason why I think they should do photography is because film video cameras are complicated.
Very complicated.
They're big and they're heavy, whereas a stills camera, what is it? Not that big.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe a mirrorless, even smaller.
Exactly. So they're very small. They're very easy to figure out how to work, and they're very easy for you to figure out how to do the shots and stuff. So you can get very creative with a stills camera, and figure out how you want to do it. You train your eye on a stills camera
I
on
agree.
photography.
Yeah.
You also, I think, you just generally you get good at image composition, and if you're a good photographer, you get good at telling stories through images.
True.
I mean, in photography, you're just telling an image with a still image with one frame.
Yeah.
And if you can do that, then you know you can do film cinematography, because that way you've got a whole video to do it. Yeah. So I think for people who want to be cinematographers, they should definitely get more into like photography. And I mean, like amateur photographers are just the worst.
No, what does this mean? Elaborate.
So
Elaborate.
it's when people go abroad. It's when people like go abroad or something, and they take a picture of a lamppost, and they put it on Instagram and say travel photography, and it's like it's not photography. I was at a workshop years ago, and they said like there's pictures and then there's snaps, right?
Yeah,
I mean that's obvious that it's like so many amateur photographers take snaps of their stuff and put a filter on it or sort out the colours and stuff like that.
This is the fucking problem with digital amateur photographers who think they're professionals, is they care only about focus and about colour.
Yeah.
They don't care about the image or the quality of the image or what it's saying. It's just, is it crisp and is it colourful?
Yeah.
Or is it, you know, really shallow? It's bullshit.
Well, it's because they're not telling a story with that image.
They're trying to show technical skills over quality of image.
Or they're trying to do like, they're trying to show off basically a holiday snap or whatever, but they're trying to say, look, I am artistic or whatever.
Oh.
It just doesn't come across like.
It's bullshit.
I think
There's nothing to it.
Yeah, you
There's
look at
nothing
the picture and you think like, what's the point of that?
Yeah.
Whereas you look at like the best photographer, like photographer of the year or whatever.
Yeah.
You look at those pictures and you're like, wow, that is a picture. That is like a picture that you can look at for hours and you can kind of dissect and you can kind of figure out and stuff. But amateur photographers are the worst. But the problem was that you have to go through that in order to figure out.
But then, like I said just now, you said go through, right?
Yeah.
But there are two types of people. One is they know they have the capacity to do it, to go through, and they take that route. But then the other people, they also know, but they choose not to.
I think it's an ego thing. I think weirdly people think I am a photographer, and it's like, well, and they often do either they probably just do one type of photography, right? They probably just do nature photography, or they're not even that. It's just snaps, holiday snaps, travel photography.
Here's a photo of some leaves.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because people love close up at super shallow depth of
This is
field.
exactly what I want about.
But the actual
nothing
subject,
to it.
the actual subject of the image is nothing. And that's the thing. It's not like it's a bug on a leaf, which could be interesting.
There's
sort
three.
of.
There's three template of these people. You have the extreme close-up of a random object. You have
Like a piece of wall.
Yeah. You have the medium close-up, shallow depth of field, and then you have the fucking the wide shots of nothing, like it's a street, but it's not composed.
Yeah.
It's not. There's nothing for your eye to focus on.
Yeah. It's not an image, is it? It's just a
snap.
It's just
That's all they fucking do is these three things.
Funny of him.
And they don't go on courses. They don't do workshops. They don't do anything like that to try and actually improve.
Agree.
Like, for me, I think that if you want to get into photography, I think do a bit of portrait photography.
Yeah.
I think portrait photography is really good because you have to tell a story with that picture.
Yeah.
Because and I'm not going to throw shade at people that we know, but there are a few people on our course that claim to be amateur models, right? And they're not. Right, they take what seems like a selfie on their phone in the sun, right, or whatever, and they say, "Oh, I've been doing a bit of modelling today." No, you haven't. Like, you look at professional model photography.
Yeah.
It's on another level. They're really good. And
just to clarify as well, because there may be a weird disconnect between what we're saying. I think you're on the same boat. When I say amateur, I don't mean professional, i.e. financed.
yeah,
I legit just mean there's no dedication to the craft.
there's a mentality. With
Yeah. You can
like,
be independent and you can sell 10 art books, but you can be a master at your craft. It's not about how established or financial.
Yeah, it's not about how much you're getting paid.
It's just yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Like, if you're going to go out and take some pictures, you've got to go out with a purpose. And you've got to, or you have to go out and be fully willing to just improvise. But it has to... The problem with improvising, if you're going to do that...
You have to be good at improvisation.
You have to have a really good base level. To the point where you know how to compose an image, you know how to create mood in an image. And the problem is people just don't. And, I mean, the one thing the epitome of this is the student Instagram photography accounts, right?
Yeah, I realized that a lot.
A few people that we know, we've spoken to a few people who have got these multiple accounts, right? And it's kind of like, well, I get what you're trying to do, but the problem is the picture quality isn't there. You haven't got the artistry there to warrant a whole new account. And people get funny about following a new account. I don't know why, because it's not like you've got a limit on the amount of followers you have. But people don't want to follow dead accounts or rubbish accounts. So yeah, these students who make so and so dot photo or so and so dot photography or whatever, it's kind of shut up.
Shut up.
I have no time for that. Even if I know the person, I've got no time for it. Do you want to try this? This is vodka and bitter lemon.
I want to ask you something.
Okay.
Now we are talking about Instagram account.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's intense. Go on.
What do you think about me? When I first...
You're a great guy.
I like this guy. But in terms of Winston's vlog Instagram account.
So that's your current one, right? Yeah. You've got two. You've got Winston Federer.
Okay.
And you've got Winston Vlogs.
Okay. So what do you think
You use Winston Vlogs, don't you?
I do.
Yeah. That's your main one, yeah?
No. Oh.
But so you've asked me to tag you in things with Winston Vlogs.
Yeah, I always realize you tagged me on Winston, but I don't know why.
That's because at one point you told me to. But interestingly, that's a sort of ridiculous version of what we're saying. It's kind of because when you take those type of pictures, who do you tag in that?
Which one?
Do you tag both? Do you tag Winston Vlogs and Winston Federer, or do you tag just...
I don't understand. What's your question?
So, if I was taking a picture of you on set, right?
Okay, on set, yeah.
And I put that on my story or whatever, who would I tag in that?
Winston Vlogs.
Okay, but a lot of the times it's confusing because, not for you personally, but with this in general, because it's well, do you want to tag the person or do you want to tag the business page? And even then, personally, I'd recommend people only having one. I think unless you're a legitimate business, I think you don't need one.
It's fine to have different accounts if it's distinctive enough. It's they can't cross the streams. So say you have a photography account and you also... No, we're talking shit about photography accounts. But you have a legitimate photography account and you also have a camera operator account. Those two are worlds exist.
Oh yeah, I think the problem is when the accounts seem really similar.
Yeah, that's the worst. Yeah. And when you have a professional work account and then you have a personal account, it's steep.
Woo!
You've got to keep things clear.
I like,
think
you know,
that's-
this conversation gave me an idea
Okay.
about, we're about to go into a new topic already. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to say before we go into a new topic?
I'm happy.
Okay, so recently I have been thinking about that Adobe suite, right?
Okay.
And I was thinking like whether I should continue or should I not. And I came across a YouTube video where this video explained the whole Adobe Creative Suite in 10 minutes. And there is one,
Oh, is that the 50 apps explained in 10 minutes?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that video.
So there is one app that really stood out to me. It's called Adobe Portfolio. Okay, so when I look what Adobe Portfolio can do, I was like, shit, I can do as well.
You know my website?
Yeah.
You know I have a website.
Yeah.
That was made on Adobe.
No, you don't lie. That doesn't even look like from Adobe.
No, I made that on Portfolio.
Yeah, doesn't. No. Okay. Anyways, so I don't really want to call it a website. Okay. I don't want to say, oh, Winston got a website. I don't know. I just want to use what Adobe call it, a portfolio website.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's an online portfolio, and for someone like you, and for someone, a lot of us in this stage. I mean, I don't like say as much as I just said it. I don't like saying I've got a website. I do think of it more as just an online portfolio of all my stuff. It's a one place. It's a centralized hub of everything that I've got, and I think there's nothing wrong with that, as long as it doesn't become a bit like egotistical, like so. I don't like it when when it starts to become like businessy. So it's like, contact me for inquiries or whatever. It's like, just get in touch with me. Like, it's just a portfolio. It's just a... Like, people can take, like, their personal portfolio and just... It's like with these photography accounts, they can just make it a bit, like, nothingy. It's like, what's the point of this?
Cool. So we're going to talk about this portfolio thing.
Okay.
Last night, I spent 4 hours. Like, the idea just came out from nowhere and I just like, I want to do this.
Okay.
Spent 4 hours making that portfolio of mine.
Okay.
The number one rule is I don't want to call it like a legit website. I just want it like a place to put my work professionally.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Instagram is not there. So, like that. So that's number one. Number two, in my portfolio, you will come into a home page and there's two sections, cinematography and photography.
Okay.
Took me 4 hours to find all my previous work from previous years to put inside there, which I managed to do. And thirdly is obviously I went to jackburney.com to look at like what did you put about me and things like that.
I'm currently restructuring that slightly. Like, you'll notice there's not a lot on there right now, and it's just because I'm revamping a lot of stuff.
But then but because I didn't know, I know you got website.
Yeah.
I've been there, but I don't know what was the name.
Yeah.
So I did on Google, and I typed Jack Burney. A lot came out, but not your website. Film Freeway, everything.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
I think it. I don't exactly know why, but I think that Adobe Portfolio is kind of like Wix in the sense that Google doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't like putting it up there, and also like my website doesn't get enough traffic to get it up there on the search results. Like my Instagram, because it has enough followers and it's active and stuff, and the Facebook as well. Like it bumps it up. Whereas that website, because I don't really post about it anywhere, there's not a lot of traffic going through there.
True.
So that's probably why it wasn't that high up there.
So to continue, so I made that website. I can share with you later. And it's a very simple website, but I'm still looking to improve. But that's the two section. The third section, the idea that I just came out was, because it's a portfolio, I was thinking to create a third section called behind the scenes.
So you've got to think what are you trying to say with your website, right?
Okay.
Like in my website, I have the three sections. I have writing, directing, and editing.
Yeah.
So that sort of, to me, that is my three subcap. That's my three things that I do. The behind the scenes, maybe it doesn't need to be like a whole section, but you could certainly put in your camera operating, because that's the thing. Like if you're going to say cinematography, I would say that you have to be credited as the director of photography on that, or the cinematographer.
Because I use that word.
Yeah. If you wanted to be camera operator, you could put in your behind the scenes and your vlogs and stuff like that. Like, I think that could be like more of a catch-all category for you personally.
So how? I mean, I don't like the word camera operating. Can we have a more fancier word for camera operating? What do you think?
There kind of isn't one really.
No.
And also that's the term that the industry uses. Like you want to mirror what the industry is saying, so that there was a thing about. I mean, it makes sense if you use the words that they use. They're going to recognize what it is. If you use a fancy word, then they might not understand what you mean, and they might think it might come across as a bit.
Okay, true.
As a bit
So-
like a bit.
A bit cliche.
A bit pretentious. It might come across.
Yeah, either pretentious or that you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but I don't know. I don't want to be like to give a service. I just want like, hey, you know, check out my work. That's all.
Yeah, well,
you know,
that's it,
I don't
yeah.
want it to have like writing.
No,
I don't
yeah,
want.
so maybe-
I just,
so
so
maybe-
how to do it?
So in that case, I would just have two set, one for all of your work,
Okay.
and then one for highlights. The best bits you want to show off. If you don't want to do that and separate it out into clear roles, I would just do that and just say, right, here's all my work, and then here's the highlight. And maybe all your highlights are just your cinematography work, right? That's all you can do, but I would call it that. That's what I would do if you don't want to separate out into categories. Because as much as people will go like, oh yeah, I want to see all your work, sometimes people just want to see your highlights. They just want to see the best bits, the most exciting projects, the projects that have won you awards and stuff like that, if you've got award winners and stuff. So yeah, maybe that's how I'd do it.
But what do you think of the current slide when you open your phone, big there, cinematography, photography, and then you click in, they bring in you.
I haven't seen the website.
So,
What it looks like.
but yeah, so that's what I've been doing, and
Okay.
that's what I've been doing last night.
Okay.
And I'm quite excited because that done. It's like a craving that you want to get it done.
Yeah.
So that's what happened.
Yeah.
And I look at your website as well, and obviously you register your domain. So can you talk more about registering your domain?
So with Adobe Portfolio, it's really easy. Like they have like a partner company. I don't know what it's called.
To go to the toilet.
Okay,
I'll
go to
leave
the
you
toilet,
boys
right.
to it.
Adobe Portfolio have a partner company which you can you go through, and then you can buy a website domain pretty cheaply.
How much is that?
I can't
Is it
remember.
$20, $50, $100?
I don't know.
So when is the first moment when you launch jackburney.com?
I don't know. It was kind of like, it wasn't like a big launch because I was like, well, I just want to get it out there. It was mainly so that it didn't have a .portfolio ending. It had like a .com ending.
No! See, that's mine is
Yeah.
.portfolio.
Yeah.
So why you wanted .com?
So it's mainly so it's simple, right? Mine is jackburney.com.
Yeah.
Right? No dots, no spaces, no nothing. It's just that's it. It's nice and easy, nice and simple. So I thought, well, let's do that. And then yeah, so that's what I did, and I thought, well, let's just get it sorted. Like it wasn't that expensive. So I thought, well, let's just buy it. Let's just get it sorted.
Okay.
And then I can send it to people then, and I can be like, okay, this is my website. Like maybe it's not finished, maybe it's still a bit in progress, but like it's out there. I can start sending it to people. So I would, for you, register a domain pretty quickly.
Woo!
Like it's not like the domain is gonna get like used up or anything, but you want to just make sure that I think you've got it, like so that you can send it out to people. And it's nice to put on the bottom of your email as well. Yeah, like so for the bottom of my email says like it's Jack Burney,
Oh,
editor. Usually it says editor.
I know what you mean. Okay.
And then it says my email, just in case they didn't get it before, and then it says my website. And
so how did you do it? You need to give me tutorial on this.
you can on Adobe Portfolio, where I think where you say publish your site or
Okay,
update
yeah.
live site or whatever, or in one of the settings you can go and you can click your domain name
Yeah.
and you go through that, but it's pretty straightforward.
Okay.
From what I remember.
So purchase domain. Okay.
I think it takes like a day to, like once you like submit, I think it takes like a day to get going. It's not too bad.
already get going already.
Like as in to become live.
Already live. Very fast.
As in like to change from a .portfolio
Oh,
to
yeah.
like a .com.
I think that one take a day because they need
yeah.
to certify you.
Yeah, then it just takes.
But I think it's okay. A day I can wait lah. A day is okay.
It's not too bad.
But yeah, and I'm excited. And I know why I did it. The biggest reason I did it is because I just want to put my work somewhere else.
Yeah. Well,
instead of Instagram.
Well, the thing that I find is none of that. It's all good and everything, but having a website is more helpful because it means it's like a hub, isn't it? Of like everything that you do. Because like I tried to make my Vimeo like this. I tried to have like I can't remember what they're called. They're not called channels. They're not called channels, but they're like curated things that you can make. But the problem is not everyone uploads to Vimeo. Not everyone uploads to YouTube. Like people generally split between the two. So it's like having a website is helpful then because I can just have them both together and then they link out externally. So it's a bit easier in that sense.
So what is your advice on people starting out on their website like me?
Keep it simple.
Oh, keep it simple. So it's very simple now. Cinematography, photography. And then
please don't make it complicated.
Okay, come on. Do you have Wi-Fi? I'm gonna send it to you now. We're gonna review the website live. Show him the first impressions. We'll open your Facebook now. Come on. Okay, gonna receive that and it's sent.
Okay, I got it.
See what Jack think about it.
Okay, good. It's nice, simple, good. It's got your work. It's nice. You've only got 2 sections, yeah?
Yeah, that's the only one I have now. Yeah.
Okay. You've got the cinematography there, and that leads to a more. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. I like the way you've set that up. That's nice and simple.
But I also put testimonials here. See, this is what I mean here. Award-winning freelance. Do you like that?
What?
What do you think? Copy from LinkedIn. What do you think?
Well, for me, I don't class myself as an award-winning editor because I'm not really. Not as an editor anyway.
But I like the fact that you want to tell people that the films you edited won awards.
Yeah.
That's why you put that, what do you call that? What's that? Badge or what? Laurel.
Oh, yeah.
Laurel on the website.
Yeah, no, well, yeah, that's, yeah, I know what you mean that.
Which is good as well. It's like what you say, give the impression of people, you know.
Yeah.
So having you on that website is very powerful.
So there's an idea that other people will sell you better than you will ever sell yourself, right? Ooh. So what it means is if you can get testimonials, reviews, feedback, and use that to sell yourself, it's going to be much more powerful.
Yeah.
Because you can say whatever you want about yourself.
Yeah. Woo! This guy. Wait, you have to stop first.
Okay.
Why? So what happened last night was I went to jackburney.com.
Okay.
Then I see about me. I just want to see what you write about yourself. But then no, not much. Then I was like, I'm trying to write myself. I'm trying to write from a third person point of view. Yeah. Winston is a blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But the first paragraph is like.
See, that's the thing. I don't like my about page because I want to put more testimonials in there. I want to get people. To know what other people think of me.
Yeah. So excited. So I was like, why don't I get other people to talk about me?
And the real trick, if you can, is get the people who are going to hire you in the industry to tell you about it. Okay, so as a camera operator, chances are you're going to be hired by the director of photography, right? So get other directors of photography to talk about you as a camera operator, because then you are getting because then the person who's hiring you see themselves in that credit. It's not just the director talking about it, it's not just producer, it's the person who they are, right? So if you were the camera operator, get the director of photography to write you a review of you. And that way because you're appealing to them, you're saying, I know who hires me and I know the opinions that matter, right? For example, you wouldn't get the opinion you wouldn't get an opinion of the costume designer about you working on the film. Because that's not really relevant.
No!
So that's kind of, if you really want to take your testimonials further, get it from the people who you worked on the project.
Excited.
I mean,
so happy.
Getting it from the director, the head of the project, is always good.
Woo!
But then getting it from your direct
the head of department.
the head of your department
Yeah.
will really help with that.
Woo! So I'm so happy because I managed to did it. I managed to do it, and I'm quite happy about the layout and how simple it is. But it means that I put out something that I have to take care of. I cannot just put out and leave it there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, maybe I should start again. Like maybe listen to Jack what he said about photography.
Oh no!
No. Okay, what's his point now? His point of view.
So you don't need to start again. Definitely not with that website. You just need to.
Because I cannot have the same content, right?
But the thing,
I have to.
So the thing with that website, that's always going to be updating, right?
Yes, that's correct.
So that's it's going to be a continuous thing. So set up a design that you like, and then you can go in, and then you can just keep adding to it. Then, and that's the whole idea. That you've got at the base of the website.
Exactly.
You add to it.
That's what I was talking about. The third section.
Yeah.
If you see on your phone, it's a big screen.
Yeah.
So I was thinking whether I put a behind the scenes there.
Yeah, you could.
Because I really don't want. I don't know how people will look. Let's say Dan doesn't know anything. I give him the website. He would think I'm a freelance, but I don't want. I just want a portfolio thing.
Yeah.
You know.
So there's also.
Do that make sense?
So there's also an idea that so when in CVs and in websites and stuff like that, you say your name.
Yeah.
So you say Winston Lim, camera operator, right?
Yeah.
There's an idea that the only purpose of your website, your CV, your portfolio, your Instagram, everything is to prove that you are what you say you are. So if you say you're a camera operator, the entire purpose of your website is to prove that you are a camera operator, right? So only include credits that are relevant for camera operating and cinematography and camera and stuff like that. So that's what I mean. Like, focus it down. Like, so it's very important to say early on what you are claiming to be. So if you want to, if Winston Lim camera operator, Winston Lim cinematographer, whatever it is. Because then also what it's mentally doing to the person looking at it is it's drawing that connection. You're no longer just Winston Lim, you're Winston Lim camera operator. So it's kind of like, but so many people forget that when they're making their CV. Like they'll say oh, I want to be, I want to be a cinematographer, but they include their screenwriting credits or their runner credits. And it's like, well, that's not really relevant. That's not...
Yeah.
I don't really care about that.
So talking about credits, right? I also happen to I like to check out what you're doing. So I just happened to saw your CV last night as well while looking through your website. Yeah. And I was like, so this is what Jack presented in his design features.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like that lah. So but yeah, I'm happy about the website. Maybe I can forward to Dan as well.
Yeah, no.
Just
So look at your website.
But yeah, I think it's good. Forward to.
But I think like online portfolios in a website like that are a much more effective than...
What do you think the biggest difference when people say online portfolio and a website? What is your perception?
For me, I think a website is trying to sell you something directly. Whereas an online portfolio is more... I don't know, because it is trying to sell you. I don't know, there isn't... It's difficult. There isn't a hard line, I don't think, between website and portfolio and online portfolio. But I think an online portfolio is more just, here's my work, right? It's not a direct, like, hire me. Whereas a website usually is like, these are my services, these are my prices, that sort of thing. I think. But that might not be the case, I don't know.
So what did you have the website?
I like your website, Winston.
The main thing you need to do is, at the top of that thing, say Winston Lim, job title.
Really?
That should be the first thing people read, is your name. And if you include a picture of yourself, that's helpful. Just so people know what they're looking for. Stuff like that. It can help.
Okay. So I'll work on that. But yeah, I'm really happy about it. And that is also another thing besides the GTC. Personally, I feel like can help me elevate from... Maybe I'm looking in a very small bubble, but I know the rest of the world already doing it. Because I always think like, this is real. Me joining GTC and me having my portfolio makes me stand out from my course mate.
Yeah.
I always think like that. And that's not good because obviously outside the bubble there are people younger than me already got a very nice website, already very good, But what's your point of view?
You can't think like that. You can't. Like,
Counseling session.
So we're talking a lot about ideas. So there's another idea as well, and it was by a guy called Simon Sinek. I don't know if you know Simon Sinek. He's a very interesting speaker, and what he talks about how in most businesses they look sideways, right? So you're all going forwards, right?
Yeah.
But they look sideways. They look at what other people are doing, and they judge themselves based on how well other people are doing, right? And how well they compete. Whereas the people who often end up in front are looking forwards, right? They don't care about what's happening to the left and to the right of them. They care about what's happening. They care about their own goal to get forwards, right? The example that he uses was back when Steve Jobs was running Apple. Apple was a company that looked forwards, right? They didn't really. I mean, they might have done in thing, but they certainly. Their business model was very much, we're looking forwards. We're trying to do our own thing. We don't care what other people are doing. We're not trying to compete with that market. So, in that sense, I would focus on that. Like, don't...
I like this guy.
Like, what it's thinking about what is your goal rather than just... This is why I don't like when people ask, how do you stand out from the crowd, right? It's like, well, I'm sort of doing my own thing. I don't really want to...
Yeah, just
I don't. It's like I just genuinely don't think of myself as part of the crowd, right?
No! Start from there, this. Woo!
No, but like it's important because like if you just think of yourself as one of the crowd, and I find that quite demoralising. Because then that's exactly what you're doing. You're just looking sideways. You need to look forwards.
We can play some tennis. But yeah.
We can't play tennis.
Yes.
We broke the racket.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what I would do. I'd stop looking sideways and start looking forwards.
So nice. Yeah.
You'll
So instead of putting my showreel link
Yeah.
on my CV, I now finally can put my website.
Yeah.
What do you think on a CV, showreel link versus a website? Which one sounds more convincing, legit, and professional?
I don't know. Like, it depends.
Depends on the quality of the work itself.
Yeah,
No!
and it also like it depends on like if it's a cold call. I mean, if it's that initial email, personally, I would direct them to a specific piece of work. I would say like, here's my most recent work, or here's like this work won awards or whatever. Again, like if you want to check it out, you could do. If they ask for a showreel, then obviously send them a showreel. I think a website is just a general good thing to have on the bottom of your emails, like rather than say, well, you can say like check out, like I've got my website, check it out, like if you use that.
Just do a little thing at the bottom, like a banner, where you'll have your website. And
Yeah,
Instagram.
true.
Yeah, no, that's true.
True.
Don't
It don't make
mention it.
sense.
You don't need to mention it. It's there.
Yeah,
They want to click, they'll click.
because if they're
Because if
if they're interested,
If they
in
read the email and go, okay, this sounds engaging, then they'll do it themselves.
yeah.
Don't try and push their hand, because then they'll feel.
I think directing them to something specific first, like something that just so then they're focused and they can kind of say like,
That should be in the email itself as why you know.
So what I realized about your CV is that you put your social media there.
Yeah.
Mine I haven't.
Do I put my social media
I think you did. No.
on my CV? I don't think I do.
You.
Do I not?
I don't know. I
might
forget
do.
already. So you guys prioritize social media section as the below of the CV instead of the top right corner.
Yeah. CV,
Have you seen those CV that the social media is on the top right corner?
Personally, it's emails. Genuinely, like just speaking.
Oh yeah,
to
emails.
people.
Yeah.
Because there's an element, isn't there? Like follow my social media. It's kind of like, well, then it's like you're subscribing to someone, or is it an email? Is like you send. Let's contact each other.
Yeah,
Let's
it's
like
because it's so specific. If you've engaged them in the email, they'll want to figure out more.
yeah.
Like I don't just directing people to random social media.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Yeah, because it's like, well, yeah. What's the point of that?
Okay, so I want to hire you for this one specific role. And I'm gonna follow you and see everything you do. Like I don't care about that.
Yeah, no, I get that. I think that's...
It's like I'm here to do this job. We've made this contact for this work. Like, and
Yeah.
here's what I can do by evidencing what I've done for this field.
Well, I think, yeah, like, if you get talking and you kind of like, hey, I'm on social media
That's
if you
fine.
wanted to give us a
That's completely
follow.
fine.
But, like, that initial
A cold
email...
call email was follow me on Instagram. No.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go toilet now. So Dan was asking me, he said, how are you doing with your film project file? I was like, I haven't done because, try to guess, my PDF portfolio,
Yeah.
121 pages.
Jesus.
And the submission file size is 100 MB.
Yeah.
Mine is 1 gig. So I was very stressed just now.
Are you making it on Pages?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you should probably... you probably want it on Better.
Oh.
Best is a big file.
Yeah.
Don't care about it. They don't check.
Do they not?
I've always submitted files that are way too large. They don't care.
Oh, there you go. That's it.
But what is the reason they put a file size? Is it because Blackboard
think-
cannot?
They
Yeah, I
have to
think-
have them all on there, like Mac.
Yeah, oh, yeah, that is... There's a...
Oh.
Yeah, and I think it's like the server as well, but like...
Oh.
Only when you're uploading the server, like the actual thing when you're on there is, I think it's fine. It's like unlimited or something. It's not too bad.
Okay. But yeah, so that's my thing lah. So now I have 2 things to work on with that website
Yeah.
and my portfolio. I really want to get that done and quickly just submit away. And I need to record video as well. Have you recorded yours?
Yeah, I did it on my webcam.
What did you say? How did you say? Like,
I just
what did you say?
kind of said like...
He wa- he-
I just like, hi, Jack, this is my presentation from my film Mar. And then I just went into it. Like when I was talking, it was alright, but it was just the beginning and the end. It was like starting it and then ending it that I found a bit weird. Because like there's no one there to be like...
Yeah, true.
And also you've got no reactions and stuff. So,
So just to quickly tell you, Dan is still around. He's just at the sofa. So yeah. So okay, so that's done. Next, come on, throw me.
okay, so I've got some... it's not like related to me or anything. I've got this thing I wanted to tell you about.
Okay, yeah.
That's massively off topic, but it's kind of
Yeah.
like tech based, right?
Okay.
So do you know about Elon Musk, right?
Yeah.
You know about Elon Musk and his businesses and stuff, right? Well, he's currently making something called Neuralink, right?
I think I heard that before somewhere else.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's so Neuralink is basically integrating technology with people.
Oh,
Okay. So he's currently working on a chip that you can put in your brain, back of the head.
scared. Okay.
And what it does, initially what it does is, so what it is it's going to be like a 1 inch square, maybe, circle, something like that. That you drill that hole in your head, right? You put it in, and then that replaces the little section of skull, and you get to keep the bit of skull. And what this does, it links up to your brain and stuff. The idea is that initially that it fixes brain damage, and by brain damage that means you write that down. Look, so the type of brain injuries that this could potentially solve is like strokes. So you could get rid of like people wouldn't have strokes. Alzheimer's, dementia, those sort of, because what he was saying was that everything you experience right in life is electrical, right?
Yeah.
The nerves, they're all electrical. Every feeling that you encounter, every experience you go through is fundamentally electrical, and the way you're actually experiencing it, right? So the idea was that you could put an electrical thing in your brain that would solve that. And when people have strokes and when people have Alzheimer's and stuff like that, essentially their circuitry in their brain is wrong. And this little chip would fix that circuitry, right? So when he was talking about this, it was sort of like, well, how far away is this realistically? Like 10, 20, 50 years, something like that? And he said that he's planning on starting human testing in less than a year. This is putting a chip into someone's brain, right? How crazy is that? What do you think about that?
I think I think what he's trying, I don't know, what's the intention of the chip? Is it to help to fix?
So it's to help those brain injuries, right?
Okay, stop. So I think it's good what he's inventing. Because the intention is to solve brain.
Yeah.
But then it's also not so good because first of all, we never had this type of experience. I mean, experiment before.
Yeah.
So we don't know what's gonna happen. But it's also obviously it's also good another side because if you don't try, you don't know.
Yeah.
So I think it's scary because those movies we watch is coming to life already.
But I think something interesting that he pointed out is because he was sort of talking about that would make us cyborgs and stuff. It's like, well, we already are cyborgs, right? The only thing is that the technology is not within us, right? We all carry around the phone. We always carry around with us technology, right? The only difference would be that phone would then be in our brain, so we wouldn't carry around a phone. It would be inside of us, right? So that's kind of how he was justifying that we already are sort of theoretical cyborgs, right? Because it's for me, everyone has a phone, everyone has a thing, and that has access to the internet and all that sort of stuff. So all this would be doing is getting rid of the idea, is freeing up your hands, basically, so you could look at it and you could go on the internet and stuff like that.
I don't know how the testing is gonna start.
So he was talking about how what he'd do is he'd be looking for critically ill people with the brain damage, and he would get permission from them, to do it and stuff, and it would be a test, and if it worked, then they could go ahead and start doing more trials and stuff like that. But then the idea with that is that initially, it's to do with brain damage and stuff like that, but then people would start to want it for pleasure, because the idea would be that it would boost your productivity, so people would want it. Now where it gets kind of interesting and when it gets from their point of view, the idea is that it would be Bluetooth and it would be connected to the internet of some description. You could. It would be like the Matrix. You could download information and just load it. Because he was talking about how when people speak to each other, right, they... so essentially what's happening is I have information in my brain. I'm compressing it and telling you. You're receiving that and decompressing it in your brain.
Yeah, it's like a fucking zip file.
Yeah. Whereas what this would be is a direct transfer.
No.
So I would be able to just tell you that without any decompression. So you would get the full scope of what I understood of what I was trying to convey. With no loss of translation, right?
I see.
So that means that essentially you wouldn't have to talk to it as long as both people had the chip. You wouldn't need to talk to each other. You could just.
Fuck me, that's insane.
That's crazy, right? The second thing that I thought was interesting was going back to the idea of everything that you experience is electrical, right? Every experience, everything like that. This chip could theoretically save your experience, right? So let's say, I don't know, let's say let's say that you have a really tasty meal, right? Now, everything that you experience with that meal is actually in your brain, right? Because it's the way that those molecules react to your tongue, and that sends a signal to your brain.
That's correct,
right?
Yeah.
Theoretically, you could save that in your brain, in this chip, and reload it at any point. So if you were eating something and you thought, I don't like the taste of this, I'm gonna load when I had a really tasty meal, and then you could taste the really tasty meal even though you're actually really
I understand.
Because that this thing is dealing with memories, right? Which is essentially just electricity kind of saving up stuff like that. That's kind of the sciencey bit. You could replay your memories with because when you remember something, you're always remembering it like a version of it. You're never remembering it exactly. You could remember something with this chip, with 100% accuracy. And you're not just remembering the visuals, you're remembering what you were feeling, what you were touching, what you were tasting, what you were smelling. You can remember everything like that. And because of this chip, you could theoretically change that, right? So you could change your memories to be a more pleasurable experience or a more intense experience and stuff like that.
So what is this chip? Is it like a iPhone 11 and then iPhone 11 Pro extra thing, or it's just?
So yeah, the idea would be that it would be, I don't know how much an inch is. Probably.
I think that one or this one is an inch.
Yeah, probably that big. So it'd go in the back of your head, right?
Show them how big is that?
So it's just that big, just the size of an SD card, right?
Yeah.
Go in the back of your head. They'd carve out a little section of your skull, replace that hole in your skull with this, and with a very precise machine, they would connect the wires up to parts of your brain. It's crazy, isn't it? And when he was talking about this, he thought, well, you know, that's a while away, you know, that type of stuff. So bear in mind, he's going to start trials with the brain damage within a year. Okay, he says that probably by the time that these chips become like commercialized, he says his estimate, Elon Musk's estimate, and by the way, Elon Musk he's never really missed a deadline, right? That he set himself, right? He's always kind of working to that deadline. He said that for most people to have chips in their brain, it could be between 5 and 10 years. So that means by the time we're 30, we could have a chip in our brain. How crazy is that? But it would be a complete choice as well. That's the thing. He made it very clear that this thing wouldn't sneak up on you. You wouldn't. It's not like you would just turn around and everyone's walking around with chips in their brain. It'd be a very gradual thing. It's like with phones. Like, you know, what, maybe, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. Very rare. Handheld phones didn't exist, right? Or mobile phones.
Wireless phones. Whereas now, pretty much everyone has them. And it would be exactly the same with that. So I just wanted to share that with you. That little... See, we learned something by sharing.
That, because I think that if that I mean, that's like... Because basically, that's the whole thing, that we all have these we all have phones, we all have access to that, but we would just have that whenever we wanted to. It would never run out of charge, and you'd never have to get a new one, or you get a new one. But he said that it wouldn't be like a voice controlling you. It'd be like your phone in that sense, that you tap into it whenever you want to.
Fuck.
It's crazy, right?
When did you find out about this?
A few days ago.
A few days ago.
Very recent, that he was talking about this.
Excuse me.
It's crazy stuff, right?
It's mad stuff.
And that is all within our lifetime, right?
So what if there is an upgrade?
So you could take it out. You could take out the chip whenever you wanted to. And if you wanted, you could put in theory, you could put your skull or a synthetic bit of your skull back in, live naturally again. Or you could get an upgrade if you wanted to. But the idea, I think, is that the physical hardware is relatively simple and straightforward, but like access to the internet, all that sort of stuff, that would all be in software that you could get updates for, and that you could get like... Because what Tesla are doing, which is they're the only car company in the world to do this, their software in their cars updates.
Yeah.
Right? When you buy a car regularly, the software in that car doesn't change.
No.
Whereas because what Tesla do is they issue updates as you do with your phone.
Yeah.
So the software updates and the software interacts with the hardware.
Yeah.
So over time, your Tesla, or whatever you wanted, but your Tesla car gets smarter and gets updated all the time, and it interacts better over time and stuff like that. And that would be exactly the same with this.
So is this the reason why you want to go to California?
No.
You want to earn a living car? Like what type of car? Like 4-wheel, electronic?
I'm not really like a car-y person. I think that, I mean, I'm planning on passing my driving test this year.
Okay.
Like I'm doing it and stuff. So If I can afford it, I'd like to get an electric car.
How much is a driving test in UK? Is it one-time payment?
Yeah. So like, well, obviously you got the lessons. They're usually about £20 an hour, between £20 and £30 an hour. Right? Or actually no, £20 and £30 a lesson, I think. And a lesson can be an hour, 2 hours, that sort of thing. I think the test itself is like £150.
Also, the test is 150, but
I know a lot of people who basically when I was learning back at home, the driving instructor said he'll pay for the test, and if you pass it first time, he'll pay for it. But if you fail it and you have to retake it, you have to then pay for it. So it encourages people to pass it first time, but I don't know how many people do that. So what I'm planning on doing as well is I just want to get it done quickly. So I'm doing it in a week. Like I've already had like 10, 15 lessons. So I know how to drive, but I just basically need a refresher course and a quick get me back up to speed and pass my test. So that's like an intense week. Every day for like 5 hours you are out driving. And then at the end of the week you take your test.
I think you should stop playing with the SD card later, memory loss. You play this one. So yeah, very good. I enjoy this chat. It's a beautiful day today. You see, she walk out, we should play tennis.
Well, we're going to play tennis then. Where's she going?
Jack agrees to play tennis. I'm gonna use the.
You wanna do a signing offy thing, an end piece.
Okay, so this is our ending part already.
Okay.
You know, I was telling Claire that I was feeling a bit sad that you're leaving, and yeah, I was telling Claire I was feeling sad that you're leaving. I think there was 2 days ago or yesterday I just couldn't do work. You know, like just no motivation to do work, and it's just sad. I don't need your input, don't worry, because just to make it short, but it's just sad to end it like this, especially for me, because I'm an international student. I come to UK. UK is like, I really love UK, you know, although there are some negative people you talk about, but I still like this.
Yeah.
And I come here 2 years, and of course I want to end it properly. University, like I don't think I'm gonna study again, and I don't think I will. And this is the only time, at least in your life, that is your study life, because the rest will be working. So it's sad to see people go, especially you, especially the moments we had together throughout these 2 years of our life, and the tennis one, especially the tennis because it was just something else. You know, while everybody was going home, and then you were like, hey, you know, let's play tennis, and then, you know, all those type of things. So yeah, so Jack is leaving on 23rd of May. And that's a Saturday. So yeah, it's been good. Thanks for being such a great example to me. You have been such a great example to me, you and Tom Radcliffe.
So just to
he wants to add in.
Just to add a bit about that. So this is quick, I promise. So I've been looking a lot at physics recently, right? And I've noticed that a lot of the things that are true in physics are also true in like mental stuff, right? So think about pressure, right? Not as in, so you've got pressure as in like a volcano, right? It builds up pressure, and then it goes. That happens with people. You can see it in people, right? When they get annoyed, they just build and build and build, and then they just go off the rails, right? So I thought, well, and there's loads of things like this that happen. So I thought, well, what else is true like that? And the thing that I thought about was gravity, right? The idea that people like attract each other, right? And some people in life they're kind of like black holes, right? They are they are just an infinite source of negativity, right? And you can see it. Like if you go to a party, right, and there's somewhat usually it's actually, I'm not gonna like make judgments, but there's always someone who's sat in the corner, right? Or they just by talking to them, you get pulled into their drama. In life, right?
True.
You get pulled into their life, right? And there are some people, and they're just people like that. They just pull you in with their negativity, right? But luckily, there are people on the other side of that who are positive people, who they pull people into their positivity, right? And they just like infect people with positivity, right? And you know, it's nice that like you found people who do that for you, who you want to be around because they're like gravity. They pull you in with their positivity and with their good energy and stuff. So there are people like that who, and the trick is try and be that person, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it's very difficult. It's very difficult to be that person. Siri going off on one there. So the message about that is surround yourself with people who pull you into their positive gravity, right? To the people who don't surround yourself with negative. It's basically
I think I already have that.
Yeah.
It's just that if I'm infecting people, but where is my source? See?
Well, your source is you, right?
No!
Like, no, you get like people, you get influence from other people, right? But ultimately that's going to come from you. Right?
It's hard, but I want to say thank you. You have been a great example, a great mentor to me, and Tom Radcliffe I learn a lot from you. And when I give you review on LinkedIn, I really meant the thing. I really meant. I don't lie.
Yeah.
You know, I really mean it. But thanks for giving me this idea of Winston's pod. Obviously, it will gradually improve in terms of content and quality of how we shoot. But thanks also for being the first one.
First of many, I hope.
Oh, first of many. Yeah, and I don't know what else you want to say, like a last words.
No, that's it.
That's all. So this is me and Jack. I think we need to take a thumbnail picture. Have we got a thumbnail?
Do you want to say the date just before you? What's the date today?
What's the date today? Come on, scroll down. Oh, it's here. It's from here. Today is 20th of May.
2020, right?
Today is 20th of May 2020, Staffordshire University, Stoke-on-Trent. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, well done.
So that's it. We're done.
I'm so happy. Thanks, Jack.